much, but I know that I actually played against Enemy last time I was here. It was kind of a stomp, I'll admit. I went 0-2. It was pretty great. But I will note that Red Arc is one of the characters, the few characters actually, in the game with a standing overhead. So there are a lot of situations that you will run into that you have to react to a little bit differently than you do other characters in the cast. So even in our last game, you'll see in block strings and things like that, players will be holding low shield in order to kind of blow up any fake block strings or anything like that. You have to be a little bit more careful when you're playing against Red Arc, because due to the fact that she does have a standing overhead, even if she does staggers in her strings like any other character would, suddenly if you're not too careful and you're holding low shield, you're going to get fatal countered with an overhead that she'll combo off of for a bunch of your damage. Now, NEC Victor, Ludovic here, he's obviously aware of that. I'm sure that he's going to be playing very, very carefully, very matchup specific.
Using heat to put Maids back into the corner is such a good move. Like, Maids is an amazing double character and possibly one of the strongest in the game. But one thing they struggle with is once they got put in the corner, they really don't have a great way of getting out. There's no real invincible reversals. You just got to do what you got to do. You got to play kind of standard or do what I do and start shielding your face off.
Yeah, and I mean, like, even the option that Ludovic chose there, it was actually really, really risky, especially against the standing overhead that Arc has. If he had thrown out the ladle at the wrong time, standing overhead beats a lot of armored options. So, yeah, I mean, Lud definitely... no. Oh, no.
Well, I guess maybe not even expecting him to pop that bento that quickly.
Yeah, one thing that you have to remember about Maids is that even if you hit them, right, it doesn't go away. So it's not like Grand Blue where if you hit the character or the setup or whatever, that it'll disappear. It's just active for a set amount of time, and if you're on it, it'll blow up.
One of very few characters in this game that's like that. And they are really frustrating to deal with. Now, a thing I've noticed amongst pretty much all Maids players in type Lumina is they seem to mainly be putting Hisui forward and just leaving her there. And I can see why, because she's absolutely disgusting and Kohaku is the better assist character in this regard. There are some matchups where I think maybe having Kohaku out front might be more beneficial, but again, don't listen to me, listen to Ludovic. He wins. And he seems to be doing a decent job before. Okay, shield to shield. And then you get that awkward moment where you're both holding shield in front of each other and you have to figure out who's going to let it go first. Because there is a little bit of time between you dropping shield and you being able to do anything else where you are wide open. But when you're both in that state, you both want to be the first and last person to drop shield. So it's just a risky, sweaty position that nobody likes being in. Ludovic, he is not out here dropping combos. His combo game is crispy. And as you're, like I said, your designated pot monster, your standard scrub, these Maids combos are not easy. They are finicky. The converting to the spoons in the air, there's some delays you've got to build in to actually get the thing off. And he's just executing them flawlessly. Being cool under pressure, having the muscle memory, and not getting the jitters. I mean, if you're winning, major tournaments, you're probably a little less susceptible to the jitters, but it gets to everybody.
Oh yeah, of course. And you'll see Ludovic practicing a ton. Like even on his stream, like he'll be up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, just playing Melty Blood, just practicing, just trying to get some sets in. So, I mean, it just kind of speaks to the level of like effort that goes into this type of thing, and the kind of effort that it takes for you to come and like win a tournament like NEC, or even a tournament like Xanadu.
That's one of the things about fighting games. Your effort will definitely be rewarded. Ooh, that's you're not blocking will definitely be rewarded with a super to the face. But man, that chair, the strongest weapon in wrestling and the strongest weapon here in type Lumina as well.
Man, it feels pretty bad though. Like you wasted all of your meter just to get into one armored situation where the chair beats you up. Though. That's right. That's gotta sting. That's not fun. If I were enemy, I would be thinking that Ludovic is now my enemy because of that. Granted, he's your enemy anyway. You're playing against him, but even after the game's over, I'd be a little miffed
at that situation. Here's the tree. So
Oh,
many
good
safe
throw.
setups, so many even unblockable setups you can do with that tree. And that is going to be the GG. Ludovic taking it and moving on.
Yeah, it was pretty decisive, but like you can tell that enemy had some ideas. He had like some kind of signs of life, some sparks, some moments where he was definitely trying to get the aggression back. He definitely almost took a lot of really good rounds from Lud. It was just that, you know, a player as solid as that is, like you have to be on your A game at like every moment in the match.
Honestly, I'll tell you a thing I love about Type Lumina is it's a fighting game that really makes you, like, it encourages you to keep playing. Because there's a lot of fighting games out there, especially older ones, where if the other person's better than you, you just don't get to play the game. You're either sitting in the corner, getting comboed to death, or, you know, throwing out your desperate attempts at offense and you're connecting with literally nothing or maybe getting a straight hit.
Yeah.
Lumina, they're like, yo, you want auto combos? We got auto combos. You want strong defensive options? We got strong defensive options.